everybody, it's Cameron with Speedtech Performance, and today we are in hot Scottsdale, Arizona.
It is.
At Barrett-Jackson, and I'm sure you guys recognize Mr. Craig Jackson here with me, and we're standing in front of this beautiful 1969 Camaro that was a build basically from the ground up, and we're just going to jump in and talk about what we've got here.
All right.
Sweet. So first things first, 69 Camaro, would you say is probably one of the most iconic muscle cars of all time?
Absolutely. I love 69 Camaros. I'll make a long story short. When I was in high school, my dad made a deal with me if I made the principal's list, because I was not a great student, if I made all A's in my junior year, he would buy me a 69 Camaro. I wanted a 69 Z28.
Oh, yeah.
And I really wanted Cortez Silver, Rally Sport.
Yeah.
And make a long story short, I never ended up getting that car. I ended up getting a Corvette that needed a full restoration. Another story, but I've always loved these. My first muscle car I bought was a 69 Camaro Cortez Silver ZL1 Rally Sport. That popped up with the original owner. I was like, all right, that's an opportunity.
Yeah.
That's why this car ended up this color.
Yeah.
And I wanted one that you can actually take out and drive, but I've always loved the 69 Camaro. Body style is iconic. It is also because of the strike. It's one of the highest made cars. They made these 18 months.
Right.
So there's a lot of Z28s. And it is one of those cars like the Cobra that as you go down the road, that iconic body style will keep on going.
Yeah, you can't, I mean, the 69 Camaro's been done 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways.
Absolutely.
And I like kind of the different subtle things that you guys did with this build, starting at the front with the custom grille. It is the RS setup, but it looks like it's pretty much built from scratch.
It is. So we took a lot of, originally when we started this, we were going to take a car we had and do it. And when I looked at the car, I'm like, we're throwing half the car away.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good car. So we made the choice and we started with a Dynacore body, and we built a car basically starting with no car. This car is built 100% from aftermarket parts.
Okay.
So we said, if we're going to start with 100% aftermarket parts, let's do some stuff very different.
Right.
You know, and ever since COVID, you've seen a lot of cars that came out built during COVID, full carbon fiber cars.
Oh yeah.
And we decided to use the stripes in this car as the carbon fiber,
which we love. And so this is Muncie Speed carbon fiber. And they do such a good job as we sit here and look at the way that the weave lines up. And when you get to the trunk, it meets perfectly in the middle, all the way up to the package tray cover. I mean, the detail in this. But, you know, talking about the flow all the way through, it almost has a little bit of a modern, you know, with the modern 5th gen, 6th gen, how they have the Z01 with that kind of setup. But I love the red stripe that goes all the way through. You guys have this hidden little Barrett-Jackson.
Little Easter egg here, Barrett-Jackson ghosted into with the carbon back up there.
I love it. I love it.
And it's all flushed when you feel it.
Yep, yep. And it's little details like that when you're running down the road, someone's just going to think that's a black stripe. But then they get up and they're like, oh, well, hold on. So that kind of brings me to the next part I wanted to hit off a little bit, is what people are doing nowadays with these classic, you know, vintage muscle cars, bringing them to the modern, you know, through Restomods or Pro Touring, with the modern style, the modern technology, the modern creature comforts, you know. So starting from the ground up on this build, you used our subframe, our torque arm, and all of our suspension. So it's got brand new suspension, brand new geometry, and then it's powered by a GM Connect and Cruise LS3.
LS3
with the 6-speed.
With the 6-speed.
No automatic.
No, this one is old school, because I want it to be old school the way the Z28s were. So I use the Z28 as the inspiration for this car.
Yeah, I love it. And then even little tweaks like the way that when they did design the carbon fiber with the front little splitter there, just a little. They changed the design a little bit, gives it a little bit more aggression.
And the same in the rear spoiler,
Right?
where they did the cut down in the middle.
Yeah, and so it all just ties together to give it this more Restomod feel. How do you feel as somebody who's been in the industry for quite some time, and you've seen numbers matching 69 Camaros, you've seen all these things? How do you feel kind of about the Restomod movement as it sits?
Well, we started it, and we were the first ones to really start running these over the block.
Yeah.
And I remember back in '05 when we started selling, it was Boyd Connington, so you can break it between full-blown hot rods, customs. But we sold Junkyard Dog, and we were in the middle of prime time, we were selling What the Hey. It's not a Restomod, but they were full-blown customs. And purists are like, why are you running those? I go, because that's the wave of the future.
Yep.
And then as you led into, we sold numerous Restomods last year, selling a Jeff Hayes Corvette for over $1 million.
Yeah.
People want cars they can drive.
Yep.
But you look at the world of car collecting, it's not just the US. They're doing it to Jaguars. They're doing it to Porsches, multiple companies that Restomod Porsches. And into vintage racing now, if you own the original car, you can drive a recreation of your car, so you don't have to take a priceless car out. I think the bottom line is, across the board, people want to take their cars out and drive them.
Yeah.
And that's what these cars allow you to do.
Absolutely.
And have your significant other enjoy it, where you have creature comforts.
Right. So you vintage air.
Vintage air.
Brand new interior.
Very
TMI.
comfortable seats.
Yeah.
You've got lumbar. You've got bolsters. And we fit this. So I have long legs, so we had to move the seat back quite a bit. But you sit and you fit the car to you.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about a Restomod. You know, adding electric conveniences for everything, but doing it in a tasteful manner that when you first look at it, it doesn't look that customized.
Well, because something like this, it's easy to overdo and go the wrong direction. And unfortunately, there's some builds that, you
Look at the doors here. We're using stock.
The Fisher kick,
so you open it up, like, all right.
Yeah.
It's tweaked a little.
Well,
we made the console.
And something I like with this, when you tied with the TMI, is you've got your red stripe, goes all the way through the car.
Yeah, right through the seats.
Yeah.
Up, over, and out the back. And then we did the Easter egg here in the back on this side.
Yep.
I love the proportions and the visibility out of this car. And I think that is one of the best attributes that it has, is when you're in it, it just feels like home.
Yeah.
And that's the sense I wanted in this car.
Yeah.
With a big drink holder, with a place to plug in my phone, with Bluetooth, with, you got your mic up here so that you can talk on the phone, you can listen to your favorite tunes, as you said.
Yeah.
And it is no different than a modern car.
Yeah. And something, so you've got the comforts, but like where we come into play, the way we engineer our suspension, it gives you the confidence on the road that you lack. Because if you're in a bone stock, leaf springed Camaro and you're going down the freeway next to a semi and you're doing this, just try to not get sucked into the side of that car.
You don't
have to worry about that with modern power steering and everything.
The suspension's a huge upgrade, having coilovers, having the ability to tweak it, which I've let my mechanic do most of the sorting out on this car.
Yeah.
So he's been driving, I think we put 150 miles on it so far, running it on the dyno, getting it mapped out the right way. And I look forward to driving it today. So I've only been in little test drives of it. I took it out of here and we changed the brakes and I blew a power steering line on it. So it was little things that we just had to tweak.
Yeah.
And now it's sorted. Now I'm ready to drive it.
I think that's what we got to do then.
Let's do it.
Sweet, let's go.
We made the door rubbers pretty tight.
Yeah.
We kept getting air leaks in it. I'm like, bring them in. Bring them in.
Yeah. You got to love it. It's probably pretty convenient being right here on this airstrip.
You know, these marks, in full disclosure, are not me. Some of the guys that used to work for me opened up a shop here.
Okay.
This is them.
I'd say the same thing too.
I know nothing.
Right. No, that's but even that.
Look at this thing. Dead straight.
Dead straight.
The thing is super responsive, your rack
Yeah.
and pinion.
Yeah. 2-finger driving.
2-finger driving. No hand
Stop.
brakes, stops,
It's
dead
stayed
straight,
straight.
stayed
Yeah.
straight. Those are always my tests.
Yeah.
It accounts for the crown of the road perfectly.
So what's your take on the whole electrical vehicle movement?
You know, I bought one of the first Hummers because I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it is cool. I'm still a hybrid fan. I think hybrid, eventually they'll bleed, and this is just my prediction, we'll be building Restomod hot rods with different ways to power the combustion engine.
Yeah.
And hybrids into these. We've sold some pure EVs,
Yep.
but I think we're going to end up, these bodies will end up with other modes under them
Yep.
that are not necessarily all pure electric. But if you drive a hybrid like a P1,
Yeah.
that thing is so fast out of the
So
hole,
fast.
and then it gets into the turbos, and I just love it when the wastegates shut off right
Yeah.
behind your ear.
Yeah.
It is visceral.
My one of our friends in the industry just picked up an E-Ray. That's a pretty impressive car.
It's out of the hole faster than any Corvette.
Man, it's amazing.
You see, the auction site is coming together. Pulls strong.
Yeah, it does.
The suspension's definitely very crisp. No need to look up. Our differentiator is, one, we're car guys.
Yep.
The way we vet the cars, the way we use
Yep.
experts, because we care. It's our hobby as well as our business. And I want people to come into this hobby and have a great experience. That's why we build automotive lifestyle events that are
Yeah.
for the whole family. Family Value Day. I just love seeing multiple generations together at the auction.
Yeah.
I'll talk to the families, and being
That's-
on live TV has brought so many new people into the hobby, and we feel like we got to take care of people when they come into the hobby.
Yeah.